welcome back. It's good to see each and every one of you. It's good to know that we all survived and weren't any of the selected few of Benjamin Walker's Halloween weekend. It's good to know that you all came back. I, of course, had no doubt. Prince over there again, he thought that this one definitely did it. This one definitely scared you guys away, but you guys can't be scared away. We all know what we're here for. You don't call them nightmares for nothing, right? So I'm glad that you came back. I'm glad that you enjoyed last week's story, and I got a feeling you're going to like this one too. But as we always do before we get into the story, so we can stop prolonging the inevitable, for all of those who are new here, definitely make sure that you subscribe and come back every Friday night for the best in your horror stories, the best in thrills and chills that you've never imagined. Whatever you need to get your weekend started off right every Friday night. In case you were wondering, still I am J. Jamal, and these are your Friday Night Nightmares. Welcome. So sit back, relax, buckle in, strap up, and enjoy the ride. I gotta be honest with you. The story this week hits just a little bit different. I'll tell you guys tonight about the craziest ride you've ever heard of. The craziest ride that I've ever heard of or that I've ever been on. You see, one night I hit up a club, celebrating with a few of my boys. Still young, still kind of stupid, 22, 23 years old. Let's just say I was a little easier to coerce back then. And this particular night, she had me right where she wanted me. The way that the light hit that black dress and that red lipstick, it might as well have been a spotlight. I didn't see anybody but her. Then lucky for me, she was looking right at me. I can't look weak in front of my guy, so I approach her as soon as the next song is done. As soon as she sees me coming, she turns towards me, that front profile under that light accentuating everything that I was already loving. She greeted me with a smirk, as if getting me here was part of the plan all along. Well, that took longer than I expected, she teased, giving her hair a little flip. Usually the boys come running to me right before the first song ends. I'm a little bit harder to get than that. I smirk once we're face to face. The bit of liquid courage I've gotten so far definitely paying dividends. I suppose my confidence was a bit enticing to her. She just laughed and asked me what my drink was. Never been a heavy social drinker. Like I said, I'm only 22. So I told her to surprise me. I can see she's a bit older than me, but I've never been one to knock a little extra experience. On top of that, there was something hypnotic about her eyes. Hers wouldn't stay off me, and I wouldn't dare take mine off her. After a couple drinks and then a couple shots, we're dancing, and I'm even more sure now that we're the only ones on the floor. At this point, more than just our eyes are on each other. I'm under a spell, like a man in a trance. And I like it. Yeah, I liked it. A few dances into the night, her lips went from my neck up to my ear as she whispered, "You're mine tonight." I'm not gonna lie, my chest puffed out and I responded, being as braggadocious as you can imagine. "You'll want me tomorrow night too." With a blank look on her face and a fire in her eyes, she said, "I'll only need one night for what I'm planning to do to you." And that was the first time I saw it. the red in her eyes, the hypnotic red I was now lost in, sinking deeper into the abyss. I'm not gonna lie, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up and a chill intruded my body. My condition only allowed me to nod and accept my fate. I feel a hand go into my pocket and pull out my phone, texting my friend to let him know that I found my own way home. It wasn't until I put the phone back that I realized that it was, in fact, my hand. "Now follow me," she says with a smirk, and as if being led on a leash, I do exactly that. Following her to an old school red Mustang, in pristine condition, a car almost as beautiful as she was. Now she drives, she tells me she lives about 45 minutes out, just a little trip up the Pacific coast. It'd take a while, but I'd love the view. And I'd love it even more when we got there. The cold in the air pierces my skin, a chill circulating through me. The white noise in the radio leaving range is the soundtrack to the night. By this point, I can only describe myself as paralyzed. I just can't tell if it's by lust, alcohol, the cold air, or if it's her. At a red light, a few words of the local radio broadcast sneaks through the static. "Do not resist the eyes." I fell on my ear as the anchor spoke, and immediately she reached and turned off the radio, and my eyes once again met hers. Now I'm certain of what paralyzed me as I sunk into the passenger seat. It won't be much longer now. Soon you won't feel a thing. The words sounded as if she was saying them while I was underwater, as I sunk deeper under her influence. At the next red light, she kissed and bit into my neck, massaging my hip. And soon I feel blood trickling down my neck. "Thank God you taste good. Otherwise I'd be hungry again a lot sooner." We drive a bit further, and at this point she turns the radio back on, and I hear the message loud and clear. "Do not give in. Resist the feelings that arise." The hypnotic lies sit behind her eyes. A shaken voice spills from the speakers, drawing a cackling laugh out of her before she turns it back off, and my ears feel like they are filling up with water all over again. Oops. I guess it's too late for that. Her words are still drowned out, as if I myself were drowning. "Don't worry. We're almost home. And this will only hurt on impact." She kisses my hand and slams on the gas. In a panic, I face forward as she begins drifting onto the wrong side of the road. It's clear that her plan is to speed through the guardrails on the next curve. Her face lights up, both figuratively and literally, as a semi-truck and its high beams shine on us. I close my eyes in pain and I hear the horn honk. She jerks the car out of its path, speeding along the shoulder as I begin to come to. Suddenly my phone rings louder than I've ever heard it, and she screams as I snap out of it. My eyes adjust for the first time to see her reaching over to try and buckle my seatbelt. And my first coherent action is to pull away, open the door, and jump a split second before she hits the barrier, silently facing forward as the car plunges off the cliff and into the ocean. Less than an hour later, I'm down at the police station, answering questions about the night's events. Was I drunk? Was I drugged? Was I hypnotized? I had even less answers than they did. But the most pertinent, clearest answer came after when the chief came in with an envelope containing pictures. And then he asked me if this was the woman that I left the club with. Sure enough, it was. After confirming, he picked up some of the pictures and told me to go home. That wasn't flying for me at that point. I needed more. No, that's it? I don't even get to know this woman. I don't even get to know who this woman was. That seems pretty important right now. I pleaded without hesitation. He turns back to me and he spills it. You weren't drugged. And her name was Stella Samuels. He goes to leave and I chime in again. Was. You guys are already thinking she's dead? Did they try to recover her body at least? He stops in his tracks to face me again. There is no body. Not anymore. And we don't think she died tonight. We know she died 15 years ago in a red vintage Mustang, just like the one you were in tonight, driving off the same cliff you just saw. The only difference is this time she didn't have company. So what did we learn? Well, certainly it would be that life's a trip. And it's not always one that you want to go on. But 10 times out of 10, you end up along for the ride anyway. So what do? Well, you buckle up, strap in, and hold on tight. And hope that you're riding with the right one tonight. Because if you're not, who knows how wild the ride may get. But we'll worry about that next week. For now, how about we go for a drive? Till next time.